Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. I hope you're having a great day. Time for today's rundown. So before we get started, if you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping a new video. So last week brought a lot of different things, right? The first one was you saw the continued rippling effects of Three Arrows Capital and Celsius. And the sharks are just surrounding Celsius. Nexo is looking to buy their assets. But Nexo and I forgot who else, the other company that's looking to buy their assets. Those are both small potatoes when you look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs trying to sweep in and buy those assets. I mean, I want you to think about this. So the company is going under, but they still have, somewhere between 10 and 15 billion in assets under management. I want you to think about that. Okay, so there are institutional investors right now, or investment companies right now, that have the same kind of assets under management, that, around those same numbers. So that makes Celsius not a small player, right? I think the total value of Celsius is like 22 billion, right? US dollars. Goldman Sachs is trying to sweep in and snatch everything of value for like 2 billion. And they've rounded up some investors that are interested in being involved in that. You sit back and you go, wow. It's not the matter of the company going under, it's how and who and why, right? Celsius has a big impact. Goldman Sachs coming in and snatching up Celsius would say a lot about the DeFi space. It means they believe in the DeFi space, think they can make it better, and think they have things going on. And I want you to take a step back and listen to my videos from earlier last week, where I was talking about JPMorgan getting involved in the DeFi space. What is it? Onyx Digital Assets, getting involved in tokenizing different assets to be used in DeFi pools. Trillions of dollars right there. Citi doing the same thing. Trillions of dollars right there. Meaning they have access to people that would total possibility of trillions of dollars. In terms of assets that could be used in DeFi pools. Just take a step back. Even if it was $500 billion, that's $500 billion. Just take a step back. One of those companies could do that. Just one. Right? Because what you're doing is you're saying, I'm going to take this asset, I'm going to tokenize it for you, and we'll drop it in this, liquidity pool, and we'll go on from there with you making money, us making money from, these loans. That's huge. That's a serious nod to the DeFi space, even if it doesn't come to that number of money. You remember it was just a couple of months ago where everybody was happy with $200 billion in total value locked in that space. You're talking about more than 2 times that if you're just looking at $500 billion. With the reach of a Goldman Sachs, the reach of a JPMorgan, the reach of a Citi, as well as others that are looking to get into this space. You're talking about something that would go from this big to this big. And I'm thinking that could probably happen within the next year. Within the next year. So what I'm thinking about is who would have the best look going into that next year. If Goldman buys the assets of Celsius, they would have a jump start, wouldn't they? Just saying, they would have a jump start. They'd own tech, they'd own the ability, they'd own on-ramp. There's a lot of things that they would snatch. So whoever wins, because I really don't think Celsius is going to come back in its current state, right? They'll either claim bankruptcy and come back and do something else or whatever have you. So that means that there's a lot of opportunity that's going on right there. So when people talk about the demise of crypto and all this other stuff, I sit there and I look at those examples and I say, wow, you people just don't get it. Just how much more evidence do you need? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Everybody's, right now, people that are educated in the space and becoming more educated in the space are planning for the when. They're not worried about the if. That's not the problem. Okay, when you think about the underlying tech, my company, Rebel Visions Corporation, just signed up as a principal to the Metaverse Standards Forum because of the work that we're doing and the work that we respect from others. Creating a forum like that with major players, NVIDIA, Microsoft, don't count out Microsoft and don't thumb your nose at it. They own companies that are deeply in the metaverse. Whether you believe it or not, they've got metaverse holdings. Meta is there. No matter how much you don't like the company or do like the company, they are there. Adobe's there. There's a long list of companies that are there. Companies and organizations that represent even more companies. So when I look toward the future of this week, I start to realize, well, Metaverse Standards Forum coming about, preaching, interoperability, things like that. I sit back and I just kind of go, there's a lot going on there. A lot. You're not just talking about, people are going to go play games and things like that. No, you're talking about global interaction between people that may not have ever interacted before. In a setting where it's almost as if they're right there next to you. Because in a given metaverse, don't think that it's one thing. It's not the metaverse. There are several metaverses. That's the way it would be. Now imagine if you walked in this metaverse and this person walked in this metaverse and there was interoperability, you'd still be able to interact in the various metaverses. People laugh at me as I talk about, Ready Player One. Cheesy movie. I really enjoy it because it's so cheesy. But I want you to go back and look at it. It's basically what we're talking about. Interoperability between metaverses. Basically portals between the metaverses. Bridges, if you will. So when I couple that with all the other financial news that's out there, I sit back and I just kind of go, wow. There's a lot going on in the crypto sphere. So when I contemplate Goldman Sachs doing something, when I contemplate Celsius and Three Arrows Capital, don't sleep on Three Arrows Capital. They had a reverberating effect on the industry, and they still do. So who knows what's going to go on with that? But when you think about this, do your own research. I've been doing mine and I've been coming up with some stuff. You have Charles Hoskinson. He's one of the co-founders of Cardano. And Hester Peirce basically saying, listen, we don't just need random regulation. We need clear regulation. And we need appropriate regulation. Right now, the SEC, which Hester Peirce, if you don't know her, look her up, Crypto Mom, is basically saying, she works for the SEC. She's a commissioner. And she's saying, we didn't handle this right. We didn't get it right. We got it wrong. And if we keep getting it wrong, it's going to cause problems. Big problems. So you have two people that are involved that are saying, listen, we can do this right. We can do it right. We just have to do the work. Just do the work to do it right. So looking at what's going on, do I think that the world is rosy as we go forward? No, not at all. But I will tell you that I am happily using dollar cost averaging to get deeper into crypto. I purchased some more Matic. I purchased some more Ethereum. Snatched up some more Algorand. Now, let me tell you about Algorand. Not anything deep, but I told you before, I might have mentioned, I got involved with Algorand not just because I like the tech. I got involved with Algorand because I'm also getting 5.75 APY on it. I'll let that wash over you. And you'll hear in my videos all the time. It's more than your bank will give you. It's more than your bank will give you. That's exactly it. I'm doing that. I'm not taking all my cash and putting it into a coin just because, I'm getting some APY back. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm taking a chunk of my money and saying, I like this project. I like what they're doing. I'm investing in that project. Might as well go see if I can make some extra money. Cardano's another one that I'm looking into. I can go make some money.
I'm sorry.
Right? Sorry about that. Cortana thinks I want to talk to her. So there are things that you can be researching where you can see that you can make some money. Right? 5.75% APY is not bad. Algorand can go up, it can go down, but 5.75 is not a bad thing. So instead of me focusing on all these crypto exchanges that are looking at layoffs all over the place, like Bitpanda and Bitman Bybit, I'm not concentrating on that. I'm not focusing on that. The only thing that tells me is that, well, you didn't manage your company properly. You didn't manage your growth properly. So now you've got to scale back. So either you didn't manage your growth properly, or you just straight up didn't manage. And you need a little bit of help. You need to pull back and think about this. Let's not forget about the Volkovas twins. I'm probably saying their name wrong, and I apologize for that. Look at Gemini. Major layoffs. Major. Coinbase, major layoffs. And Coinbase has been around for a while. But if you look at Binance, they're not only growing their staff, but they're looking to get into about 100 deals. Look at a project like Ripple. They're looking to go into a lot of deals, not just increasing their staff by 50, but going out and buying some companies because they planned it. They took a more pragmatic approach to things. FTX, Sam Blankman-Fein, he's thinking about what he's doing. He's invested in several different areas. Some will make it, some will not, and he knows it. But he was prepared to do so. Look at BlockFi. BlockFi is trying to, find money, and I think they might have cut a deal where, they'll get a cash infusion or get a line of credit and all that good stuff. That's awesome. But I think a lot of these companies are starting to think about, well, hey, we need to think about this business model. Look at Mark Cuban. He's a big investor in Axie Infinity, and he's like, listen, they've got to figure this out. They need a better business model so that they can go try to make money and offer those returns to their investors on a more ongoing basis. Some projects will make it and some projects will not. It's as simple as that. But this week, I'm looking for more news, and I'm looking for news from both ends, right? I'm looking for news from companies that are saying, hey, we think we're going to do well. We're looking into doing this, doing that, Binance, Ripple, that kind of news. As well as other news where we see projects falling down and falling out. I want to see more, I hate to say it, but I want to see more projects fail. The faster you fail, the better off you are, because then you'll know how not to do it. And hopefully you'll come back with a stronger project. But that's my outlook for this week. That's what I'm kind of looking for this week. The numbers have been well over the past couple of days. The numbers have gone up. Bitcoin's, mucking around with around, 21,000. As you know, Sundays, I don't really pay attention to numbers as much as I play around with how I feel and what kind of research I'm going to be doing. So the research I'm doing is, where's Cardano with the Vassal fork and all that good stuff. And they hit a major point where, they're about to hit the last testnet. That was the major step. So you're looking at where that can happen. Unfortunately for Ethereum, well, they pushed back that bomb 100 days. That's a little over 3 months. So still possibly this year. But, maybe. Gives me a little bit more time to buy some Ethereum. Just saying. Polygon's making moves. I'm looking for those strong projects that already exist or those projects that we don't know of that are strong, to start making some announcements, start making some moves on their own. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm making another video and when it drops. If you have questions, leave them down below and I'll gladly try to do the research. I've done it before, I'll do it again. We have a lot coming up this week and I'm happy to report it to you. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.